Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure to hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a comic book review on Deadpool and Wolverine World War III, issue number 1. So, there are two things I want to mention before we review Deadpool and Wolverine World War III, issue number 1, is that if you want to go and subscribe to Professor Savage Dad's YouTube channel or follow him on X, formerly known as Twitter, links will be in the description box below, and go and give him some clout because that's what I do here. I'm a clout giver, and I give all types of clout to the people that know me, actually. Second thing is this is a series that was announced to be 3 parts, right? So I've kind of figured out a good idea of what I want this to really look like on the channel. But then again, these things are always subject to change given circumstances depending on releases, right? Since this is only 3 issues, we kind of factored in we could just literally review all 3 of the issues as they came out, right? Because it's only 3 issues. And then by the time we got the trade, well, we could have already had all the issues reviewed. Now, the only reason we would review stuff like this is if it had a number on it. So like a mini series. So it would be either the numbers of 3 and 4. Anything after 3 and 4, unless it's a character we kind of both really care about and we kind of see the value in the series, most likely we just wait for trade. Or I would end up buying the trade myself, reviewing it myself, or however I decide to potentially take on that character if I wanted to basically review the comics subsequently as they released monthly. So that's kind of like the format of how the reviews generally go. And I told you guys before, I'm going to start doing some of those John De La Rose style comic book reviews where obviously if we don't have the same stuff, then I could just do it myself, obviously. Those are going to come with different stuff that obviously you don't have or I have actually. So yeah, this is just one style of comic book review that we're gonna do. But yeah, it all just depends on how many issues are in the series. Is it a mini series? And do we consider? I would just wait for trade. You know, because at this point now, I think most of the industry is kind of leaning towards that, or at least the customer base is just waiting for trade. Now, I will say this: I watched several reviews of this. And I, for the life of me, couldn't understand what the people were saying. Not because I couldn't understand them because they weren't even speaking non-properly or they couldn't cohesively convey their thoughts. I've always said this. People can feel how they want about things. I don't care. But my opinions are going to be different. You know, like we had on the Yaira review. People didn't really like how we felt about Yaira. But then again, I know I'm being truthful. This is my opinion. This specific comic book kind of represents why people don't buy them. I'm not trying to be mean, people. I know comic book industry people watch these videos. I know they do because they pick out who to block on Twitter. But please hear me out, okay? This book is the epitome of reason why people do not buy issues when they come out, whether they're in 3s of a miniseries between 3 issues or 4 issues, right? So I chose to get the Rob Liefeld variant. It looked the best one to me, obviously. The main cover looked really, really cool, too. And there are some cool ideas in here. And it has a really cool interactive way for the viewer to really get invested. But those are like surface level things, all right? This book is the epitome of really good art. The art is like, man, fantastic in this. The artist on this was so effing good. The artist is Adam Kubert. He did a fantastic job. He deserves all the money he got for this fucking title.
He's always been great.
So good. This is so good as art.
Him and his brother, dude. That's Joe Kubert's son. I mean, he's second generation great artist. Him and his brother Andy have always been great artists. They've been working for Marvel. Like, I'm surprised they dug him out of the same hole they got Joe Kelly out of. I thought Kubert retired, but Adam Kubert's art has been wonderful. His style has changed a lot since I remember him. Some of it has, not all of it. Like, some of it's still very similar, but it was a different art style that I'm used to with him.
And I will say this: if I was just judging this purely just off art and the multiple variant covers, all the artists put very good work into their variant covers too. I'd give this a 10 out of 10. No, I'm being honest here. If this was literally just an art book and I was just judging it purely based off that, this would be a 10 out of 10. if I did my top 10 comic books of 2024, this would be in top 10. Arguably number 5, considering how good the art is. But sadly, comics are more than just art. And as I've always said, art gets you in, good writing keeps you going. And buying the series, actually. So,
Yeah.
the big thing to mention with this is actually not even the treatment of Wolverine. The treatment of Wolverine is actually really good, honestly. It's actually the treatment of Deadpool. Professor Savage he likes Deadpool a lot more than me. Deadpool's kind of always like been a one-note character to me. To be fair, I will say this: not really read that many comics based around him. I know of several things I've kind of somewhat checked into. You know, I know some of the more popular titles. I know his backstory. I know the creation of him, but it's never been a character I've really been that interested in. But I will say that their treatment of him in this book has been very, very bad. Okay? You can tell the writer on this is Joe Kelly. You can tell he likes Wolverine more. It's not even that you think like, oh, I'm guessing the hypothesis. No. If you read this, you can tell he likes Wolverine more. Okay? So a big problem with the book in general is that this is supposed to be Deadpool and Wolverine. It's in the damn title. And then halfway through the book, after they beat like this villain, this like this minion villain that comic book heroes always fight, always these underlings, Deadpool's just not in the book anymore. And comes back a mind-controlled slave villain.
Yep.
And the name is Wade Wilson III. So you know how this is titled World War III? It's actually not. It's it's called World War III by, you know, the name itself, but it's actually Wade Wilson III. Yeah. So that was just like, what?
Wade Wilson III. Where did you get Wade Wilson III from?
Oh, it was the dialogue. Oh, right here. This page. It's right there. Sorry, it's right there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
His chosen name is Wade Wilson III. So
okay, I don't know if that might be sarcasm, but
probably is.
Yeah.
But
either way,
I think another issue with the book is it feels like there's just some gaps in story here. Some I like, some I don't like. So here's kind of what really happens. The book starts off with Wolverine talking to himself. Also, the Wolverine dialogue is great. The monologue he has to himself is great, but this is stuff I've seen throughout the years. It's cool to always have it thrown back to you. I like Wolverine a lot. One of my favorite superheroes of all time. I love Logan. But this is dialogue that's not new or anything. This is stuff that I've seen, and I've read before and I've kind of seen before, honestly. Yeah. The book does this really cool idea that I thought was super interactive that I hope a lot of more books do. So you're reading it, okay? So it opens and then it does this vertical thing where Wolverine's backstory is shown a little bit. That was really cool. I think that's awesome. That is a really cool idea. I hope more books figure out how to do that. That made me actually want to interact more because I wanted to engage in reading the dialogue. It was awesome. Seeing Wolverine, talk about certain things with certain characters, like his relationship with Deadpool, I don't feel like really went anywhere as far as this issue. They had that like buddy cop kind of thing going on, but I didn't think it was really that good. When he was in the bar talking to that one guy, trying to see where to go next, that was kind of cool. But it really does feel like there's a lot of skipped beats here. That's why I say this is the kind of epitome of why people don't get this stuff anymore and just wait for trade. And then you're at a point in the book where it's like, okay, now Deadpool is mind controlled, which is obviously it's a cliche, but it's like, we're not going to see him getting mind controlled. We're not going to see that. Like we would kind of, because throughout the book, they're talking about following this villain, right? They're talking about like the beginning part of the book. Wolverine's talking about like this serial killer that this one cop lady was having him, go after or whatever. Then you go after this thing where Deadpool and Wolverine fight the one villain. Then Wolverine is trying to track down Deadpool because he can't find him. He goes through like these hordes of soldiers. Really great artwork still. Like it was great. This guy comes out, Wolverine's hands all like arms all bloody and stuff. Really, really great artwork. Great style this guy has. But you just don't feel anything. It feels like just a bunch of like, this happens here, this happens here, this happens here, this happens here. Some connection between Deadpool and Wolverine. And it wasn't even enough. Like, Deadpool's making jokes. I don't really find them that funny, honestly. And it just kind of felt tacked on. That's my opinion of the book. Is this really, really that bad? no, this is like okay, but this is kind of like just not even an exposition dump. This is just a lot of story elements crammed into one book that don't even play out really that well. Now, I will say this. That doesn't mean that book 2 or 3 can't fix all the issues here. I will admit that. And we're going to review books 2 and 3, so you don't have to worry about that. But I really do feel like they dropped the ball here in multiple ways. You know, especially in the writing. Why is Wolverine telling me he's following a serial killer only for them to follow whatever happens with Deadpool later on, then only for that to happen where Deadpool is taken over by mind control, and then that's where we end off at. Like, that's it. Like,
yep.
I read reviews. I literally read a bunch of reviews before I redid this, and I'd seen some videos, and I was like, what are people praising out of this? This is okay at best, you know? Like, the artwork is fine. Like, some of the pages here are great, you know? But that's it. But that's really it. Like, the Wolverine stuff, great. You know, like, I like the Wolverine, you know, dialogue and exposition and all that stuff. But, yeah, I'll be honest here. If you are hesitant on picking this up in general, I would just wait for trade. We're just doing this because we just like these characters. But if you wanted to wait for trade, which is coming out, I think, in November, just do that. This is not something you probably want to pick up initially up front. Now, if you like a good bloody action comic, this is for you. The art will definitely give you that. So, Oshu, man, what did you think about Deadpool Wolverine issue number 1?
So you echo a lot of what I thought. So I'm going to start with the bad, and then I'll roll into the good. So the bad, absolutely what you said. Not enough Deadpool. He was barely in it. He was there at the beginning. Let's see. Let's look at this. Let's see how many pages are we getting of Deadpool? Because I got this for Deadpool and Joe Kelly. I liked the way Joe Kelly made Deadpool a character that wasn't just interesting to me. The only reason anyone gives a fuck about Deadpool, still to this day, at this point, is the character that Joe Kelly molded out of the rough clay left by the likes of Rob Liefeld and Fabian Nicea and a few other people's. I think Mark Waid did a trade with him at once as well. Like, they didn't know what to do with him. They didn't know how to use him. And then Joe Kelly came in, and I'd have to read the story about how he got started in that. Like, he was out of nowhere, new guy, writing Deadpool as a first issue of an actual ongoing. And it was fucking amazing. Still one of my top 10 comics of all time. So let's see here. We're getting into this. Page 1. No. So we'll start counting when he shows up. 1, 2.
Yeah.
3, 4. I like that I can hear the pages flipping. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
That's it.
And 9.
Unless you count him as a mind-controlled slave.
No, at that point, I don't. It's not Deadpool. You don't get anything out of it. Like, he disappears, and yes, what this was is you get this dude here is they changed the costume. You don't get any real comedy. I mean, maybe this is a sarcasm thing. Like, I don't even know who these villains are actually supposed to be or what this power is. So what was it like? Somehow, like, Deadpool.
Oh, no. So in the book, that first guy they're fighting, there's been like this guy who has been apparently capturing people and turning them into his minions or whatever.
Yeah,
that's the general gist that I got, honestly.
Yeah, I was looking for the spot where he explained what, like, he's manipulating these people and brainwashing them and going insane. But, like, what did he say? What did he say the stupid powers were? Because it looked like just shooting energy. That's please give up peacefully as I must. No. Where is this weird? It was a little weird that Deadpool explained it, but I guess it made sense. Let's see. Think tentacles absorb energy from covalent atomic bonds and turn into physical strength. So basically, he uses energy tentacles to suck your energy out. Okay, so he's basically Parasite, kind of.
Yeah.
with purple energy tentacles. It's a little convoluted, but whatever. I think the best thing, the best page, and or I'll come back to the best page. So the power set of the bad guy was convoluted, but the rest of this was a Wolverine book, like featuring Deadpool shows up like Little John. He gets in a couple bars at the beginning, and he shows up at the end, and he's like, "Okay," and this is what it is, and it's barely him. You don't get a lot of good setup for who some of the characters you're running into are. Like Wolverine clearly knows a random Russian chick. No setup for this. Don't know who the character is. All of a sudden he's in Russia. Like it jumps. This is like this is what's interesting is there's no passage of time, so it becomes very jarring. Now the action sequences, like you said, they're there. I'm gonna get back into that. But yes, so it becomes very jarring because time, you don't even know how much time has actually passed between him leaving Canada. You just assume.
Yeah.
And there's no setup for where he's going. You get this like silly cell phone left in a room above what is it, Tim Hortons?
Yeah.
That was a good joke. But then where did he go off to? Then he's in Russia. So all of a sudden he's in Russia. Again, no time passing. You don't know what's going on. No real good explanation of it. It's just like he sees this thing and he's like, diabetes and desperation. Burner phone unburned. Lucky break. And he's like, fucking Deadpool. Doesn't say anything. No explanation. You don't see anything from the phone. And then, oh man, you're in Russia. Out of nowhere. So yes, like it was this. If this is a buddy cop thing, and maybe again, issue 2 is here. I just up on Friday. Maybe we get some exposition. Maybe they go backwards. Maybe they tell you something. What this, and I'll come back to it when I get to the final thing. But my biggest problem, not enough Deadpool. The Wolverine stuff was good. So I'll get into the other bad part of it is like you said, lots of beats missed. I don't know what's going on. It's so jarring constantly. You're jumping.
Even the ending. The ending is like. The ending is like, I don't know if he's playing some sick joke on Wolverine or did he actually go through with that consciously. Like, I can't tell that from the panel. Because, like, even Wolverine's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, he's just, what the fuck's wrong with you?
You don't know what's going on. It's like, okay, did they brainwash him? What happened to him? Because you stop seeing Deadpool after 9 pages, and then all of a sudden, here he is. He's using energy sword hand. So, like, somehow he's got a power set similar to the last guy. Like there's some sort of machine that's turning people into energy vampires. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. You get all this going on here, and it's like you get to the end of it here, and it's just like, here it is. Let's see, this is the power of change. I don't even know what the hell that's supposed to mean.
One of the villains in that place he's fighting, that villain, whoever that guy is just spouting nonsense. He chose change. It was the 3rd time the charm it worked on him. Like, just a random dude that appears after that apartment he's supposed to be staying at because Deadpool let him stay in that apartment. Whoever the hell that is, it's like the Gyro #1 villains just talking, and it means nothing. He's just talking.
Well, that was the thing. It's like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what this. It was like the hero or the guy at the beginning. Now I'm guessing some of the things that he said were repetitive and very distinct. Now, if they don't cover that in issue 2 to make any kind of fucking sense at all, then shit don't make any fucking kind of sense at all still. Issue 2 is very key to this series. But I'm going to go over the good stuff that I like, and I'll give you my synopsis of why it is I think this is the way it is. I've figured out, just going over this again today, exactly what happened here. And now you can't find it out because you can't know these things, but because you can't, nobody will tell you. But so right here, now the way he's drawn Deadpool, fantastic, good. I think I've seen Adam Kubert draw Deadpool a couple times and it was always good. This style of his is a little different. It's got a little less line work. It's a little more like it's a bit different, but it's still kind of similar. He used to feel more 3-dimensional, and this feels a little flatter to me. There's something about it that's very different, and it probably has something to do with the inker, whoever's doing the inks. It isn't the same guy that used to ink for them. I don't know who Frank Martin is. So, but the action sequences, good, great. The panel work, All of the way the panels progressed, very good looking, very nice. I too liked the thing at the beginning with Wolverine's past. This is how I knew. As soon as I saw this, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a Wolverine book, like Deadpool featuring Deadpool, not Wolverine. Unless book 2 has like a Deadpool origin at the beginning, this is very much meant to be a Wolverine story where Deadpool shows up. Why? I will get to that. This right here, though, this is good. This is some great. This took him a minute. This took some time for him to draw. Great action, full page. Like this is how you do it. This is how the pros do it. All the rest of you artists out there in the indie sphere, when you want a big action scene that's supposed to hit, like you're like Wolverine, Deadpool, whoever, Batman, just getting hellfire in front of him. You want to see that. You want to see it, and you don't want a 2-pager for that. You want to see all the bullets or lasers or whatever coming at him. So you want that length for like this is him back here, all the guns here. This is fantastic. Great art. That's poster Wolverine right there. Like seriously. Though the claws, this is one thing I did have a problem about. So this is a mistake. This is a mistake that a pro made here. Well, maybe. Let's see. Hold on. Let's get the camera in here and look at that really closely. Okay, maybe not. I was going to say the claws here, definitely shorter than the claws there. But I think it's into the metal. So, okay, never mind. He got it. He has it shoved in through the character there. So I was about to say, man, I'm disappointed that you have one set of claws longer than the other. But there we go. So great poster shot there. It looks really good. He's fighting these dudes. You've got the bike shot. I like Wolverine on motorcycles. I don't like this sidecar motorcycle specifically. It might be funnier with Deadpool in it, but I like the Wolvie. Also, this looks different. Like this is a different kind of scene. This is where I'm saying that it looks a little flatter. His
If that
art
was
style looks
I thought the same thing
flatter to
too.
me.
If that was just a Harley, I would have just
Yep.
been cool with that,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, just a regular bike. The bike would have been better. It's probably a 3D asset. And then this Russian chick here is just like here's a random Russian chick that it seems like he knows. Why all of a sudden here he is? Where does any of this come from? I guess you just assume that he stole it. Now see, this looks cool. It's fine. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong or bad about it, but it's just like you go from here, he walks in and just like you it's like they have some sort of club scene or something going on in this place, but it's really just a bunch of people standing around looking at a dude being like charged up in a machine. It seems again very jarring. Poof, all of a sudden here it is. You don't go through a special door or anything. You just kind of walk into a random mansion somewhere and boom, they're transforming bros. So that was weird, but the art was good. Like it's shaped good. It looks nice. I like the way it looks. I like the line work of it. I like the colors. Like I get what he's going for. The helmet looks interesting. Like it it's a new they've just inverted the colors. They've yeah. They took off his things. They gave him gauntlets. They gave him weird metal boots. Why I don't know. But it looks fine. Like it's not Deadpool at all though. I don't count this as getting Deadpool on screen. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, like you don't see Wolverine even approaching there. He's looking in from here, and then there he is. Some exposition. You can't tell, but all of a sudden, there he is, like out of nowhere. Like, how did he get there? The art is good though. Like I like the way it looks, though I feel like his style was inked a little differently here. Like you look at this here and you see this figure and the big here, but you look over here, there's something that throws me here. This is the same kind of thing that happened in Alpha Core. Like the way something was done here, the characters just look different here. Like I keep going from a nicer detailed Wolverine and like a good fight scene. Like where'd we go here? Let's go back here. Come on. I hate it when the pages get
Oh, the
stuck.
one
There we go.
after that, where his hand's all
Yeah.
bloody right there on that next
Yep.
page that's really good.
Yeah. So see, this is really good, and this is
Mhm.
more old Adam Kubert style. But then you get, over to here, and it's not. It doesn't. There's
Like,
something less defined about the way the
yeah,
character looks to
I'll
me
be
here. It
honest
looks
with you.
flatter.
I don't know if the editor. Well, we know this editorial staff potentially had a
Yep.
decent amount of input on potentially what Joe Kelly could write in the book, because a lot of people are gonna
Yep.
probably think that this is gonna intrinsically be linked to the movie to sell it. Guys, I was gonna point it out right
Now.
here. Comic books to movie sales do not happen, and movies selling comics also don't happen. So
Yep.
this only exists really because the movie's literally coming out this month, actually. July
Yep.
2024, right? But if this is to promote the movie, this is not a good thing to do that, okay? If this is what the
No.
movie story is going to be, that's going to be bad.
It's not.
Actually, there's
It's
no
not at all.
way.
This isn't even remotely related. Like, look at his face here. Look at Wolverine's face on this page here. See that.
Yeah.
Now watch this. This is I did the same thing with Alpha Core, and this is the thing I was noticing. Now I like the art, but this is another problem I have here is like,
Mhm.
and look at this. Look at this Wolverine. Look at the detail there. Look at the
Yeah.
line work. Look at the way it's inked. It's so fucking different. When you mess with the art like that, or your inker isn't as consistent, we see this. Whatever it
Mhm.
is that they've done there, he just didn't put in the effort in some of these things there, but these close-ups he did. So overall, so why I think the art is good, and the dialogue is good with Wolverine. Wolverine's dialogues with himself are fine. The Deadpool stuff that you get for a few pages that you have him there is mostly fine. The villain is a little boring, a little done before, at least what you know of it so far. It's a little mystery box that isn't doing what mystery
Mhm.
box should. And it's like power absorbing tentacles. It's basically purple energy crossover between like Omega Supreme and Parasite, or not Omega
Yeah.
Supreme,
Yep.
fuck. Omega Red. But
Yeah.
what I think this is, what really happened here. So this is what I think after all of that. This book was pitched probably by Joe Kelly and Adam Kubert as like a
Mhm.
5 or a 6 issue miniseries. Marvel came back and said, "Can you do it in 3?" And they said, mm, "What was the page rate again?" Mm, yeah, I guess we can. I mean, we
Yeah.
can cut this out and we can cut that out. We can chop this scene. We
Yeah,
can
you're
chop
right.
that
Because,
scene.
dude,
That's
if
what
this
it
was an
feels like.
ongoing series, like this went past issue 3, guys, this would fall off a cliff after issue 3, like an actual cliff.
Yeah.
Like stores would stop buying this after issue 3. This is
If it went
arguably
on
a
this way.
pretty, yeah. Like, I'll be honest with you, this is arguably, outside of the art, a really weak opening as far as like storytelling for a
Yeah.
series with two huge flagship characters. Like, this should
Well,
be
that's the
easily
thing.
able to have a really good writer on it that can tell a cohesive story on one part.
What it should
Like,
have
dude,
been.
it goes from like literally Wolverine thinking this, so he's talking to himself about something else, for it to go into a villain plot, then to end up somewhere else where the villain's there, and it's like, who are the writers they are hiring? This is not storytelling. This is like fucking how you learn how to
So
place Lego blocks together.
I think the way this ended, the way this whole book went, there's a second issue. There's like an issue 2 should be where like the end of this book was issue 2. They just cut enough shit out of it to do it here because you needed the build up for that happening to Deadpool. You needed him getting kidnapped. You needed what happened to him for this to be a real Deadpool and Wolverine book. I mean, they even give Deadpool top billing. He's in it for 9 fucking pages, guys. And you needed another book in here. You needed to see Wolverine like
Yeah,
trying to
not
figure things out,
because
figure out where
this is
they
what I'll
went.
say. Because if you're trying to build up the mystery that some guy is capturing people and
Yep.
turning them into his mind controlled slaves, then showing
Yep.
Deadpool getting captured is how you immerse people in that. Oh fuck, Deadpool got captured. It's getting kind of
Yeah,
serious.
instead they cut all of that out of the book so they could make it shorter. This is a 6 issue miniseries that they cut down to 3, so we're getting half the story. That's what it feels like. That's what it plays like. Like literally, Joe Kelly and Adam Kubert said, we've got a story. We can do this in 6 issues. Marvel said, hey, can you do it in 3 so it ends when the movie comes out? Woo! It doesn't. It should be better, but there's whole swaths of shit that we're not getting out of here. You got 2 books. This is 2 comic books right here. This was supposed to be this issue and this issue. This issue here was supposed to be issues 3 and 4. I bet you this reads like it should have been issues 3 and 4, and issue 3 is going to basically read like it should have been 5 and 6. Like there's going to be so much shit. They're smashing too much shit in here, and they're moving so fast that it's jarring, and you can tell, and it makes it hard to follow. That was the problem I had with the book, is that like shit just happened, and I'm like, wait, where the fuck did I miss something? Like, why are we in Russia? What did I miss? And then you see Deadpool being mind controlled. Like, wait, what the fuck? What did I miss? Like here, you don't even get why Wolverine does this. You don't even understand why at the
Oh
bar
no
he
no
all of a
no
sudden.
no. Remember Deadpool said Wolverine could stay at that rental or whatever.
Yep. But see, it's like he goes here looking for him, expecting something to have happened, or I don't know, dude.
It
But
was so weird. The
it
writing
doesn't.
is so off
Yeah,
in so
because
many
here
areas.
in the bar,
Hmm.
like they were done. They were completely done. So there was no more
Hmm.
story. Like when that ended at the beginning there, I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, that was fast. Like, obviously not the real villain. They
Hmm.
turned this guy into some energy vampire or whatever. But like here to here, he's like going to Deadpool's apartment. For what reason? You don't know, because Wolverine didn't need to stay in town. He was
Hmm.
done. The mission was over. He could nope out. And it didn't even seem like, the way the dialogue was going, that he was intending to stay there. For some reason or another, he's like, oh my God, I got to go find Deadpool. Why? Oh. And then all of a sudden you're in Russia. Here you are.
Literally what happened.
Boom. Boom. Here it is. And he's not there. He's off in Russia. And you're like, why would Deadpool be in Russia? What the hell is going on? Don't even know. So then dudes show up. Okay, there's some shit going down. And I
Mhm.
get it. You get to these things, but it's like, again, it's because they cut a whole 2 issues together.
Mhm.
It's like when you make a video. Like
Mhm.
this is the whole video. But like if for some reason, and then you clip out like parts of the video, and if you
Mhm.
just smashed like 2 parts together of a video, like if you took the beginning of this review and the end of this review and cut out the intervening 15 minutes of us talking, that's what this is. That's what happened here. You're not getting the whole story that they originally wrote, and they're trying to make the best out of it so they can make money. So yeah, in my opinion, just based on this, if we weren't going to review 2 and 3 and it wasn't just the 3 issues, I would get this in trade. It's going to be $9.99 when it drops, and it's going to be $8.99 on Amazon. And at that point, it might be okay.
It's gonna
Maybe
be
issue
in the
2.
trade section at your comic book
Yep.
stores. They're selling graphic novels for $5, and then
Yep. Issue 2
Mhm.
hopefully is better. Hopefully makes some of this shit make sense. Because issue 1 read like it was missing a whole other issue of a comic book in it.
Yeah,
It's too
story
much
beats.
jumping to
Not
places.
story
Yep.
beats. Literally, just were on and off. Things just happen for just no real reason whatsoever, but because the
Mm-hmm.
plot needed to move, it just kind of did. And then it got to a point where there's a big reveal, but it's
Yep.
like I wasn't
Why
even
did
ready
they
for a
even
big
go to
reveal.
why did you even go to kidnap Deadpool? Like none of it even made any sense. Like why? What is going on here? So issue
Oh
2
God, yeah.
hopefully
This
makes some
reminds me of
sense. I don't know.
Halloween. This reminds me of Halloween Ends though, where they advertise Michael Myers, the big ending villain for the franchise, and he's the big bad or whatever, only for him not to be a part of the movie mostly at all. Why do franchises do that? Why do movies,
I don't know,
comics,
dude. I don't know.
every oh my God, if you're gonna announce that a character's gonna be a big part of something, might be a good idea to have them actually as a big part of something.
Not
This
only
is happening.
that,
This is
but
not
you
just happening
gave
in comics,
Deadpool.
dude. It happens in a lot of stuff now. The new Transformer
No,
film
it
that just came
does.
out, Optimus Prime is barely in it. Why is this a thing?
But see, They even gave Deadpool top billing, which is very
Yeah,
misleading. This
yeah,
is a Wolverine comic featuring
yeah,
Deadpool.
yeah.
That's all it is.
He gets all the best art scenes. He gets all the best fight scenes. Gets all the best
Yup,
dialogue.
yup,
Deadpool is
all of
literally
it.
just. Oh yeah, I get Deadpool makes jokes. I understand that, but there gonna be a little bit more to him than that. There's gonna be a little bit more to that character than the joke. That's why I never really cared for stuff that he's in. It's just.
Well,
I get it's a comedic character. I understand it, but it's
you
like
didn't
that.
get any good action with him. Like
Yeah, yeah. We
he's an
had the one
action
scene where they
character
slice that
too.
guy apart, but like, what else is Deadpool
Yeah,
supposed to
that's
be?
about it.
Like the way the book kind of made this the way that the narrative was going, it made it sound like they were really cool with each other, and it's like I don't know if that's even the case in this story. It made it sound like they were like cool, like a duo, like Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker, buddy cop kind of thing. I didn't really feel
Yep.
that when I was reading it. I felt
That's what they
like
were trying to do.
yeah, yeah,
They didn't pull it off. Well, you know why they didn't pull it off? They didn't have enough time together at all in the book.
not even close.
You need them to like, and when you get to the second part here, they've got to resolve all the mind control, which is probably going to be the first 12 pages of it.
With ads.
Hopefully not. Yeah, with ads. Hopefully not. Hopefully they get it done in 5. That's something I hope they get done with, because I'd rather get back to the buddy cop story that they were trying to do, that
Mhm,
when they originally wrote this story, that's what
mhm.
it was, because they had at least the first 2 issues, maybe even at the end of issue 2, you would have seen what happened at the end here, the reveal of Deadpool being mind controlled, and then issue 3 would have probably set up all of issue 3, him and Wolverine fighting. Issue 4 probably them still going on, and then a resolution near like halfway through issue 4, and then 5 and 6 would be them going after the real villain together. This is how you, I mean, you've got
Just
3
basic
acts,
stuff. Yeah.
2 issues per act in an action flick comic that this should have been. 6 issues. Marvel just didn't want to pay for that, or they wanted it to be done before the movie came out. I don't know why they did this, but this story was not written
Dude,
this
let's be
way
honest here. This is a
originally.
cheap attempt at a cash grab at a number one so they could
Yes.
sell this to people before the movie. When in reality, this has never been the case with anything. Comics to movies or
Nope.
vice versa does not work. And if this is any indicator of what that movie might be, well, that movie's in big trouble because the writing in this is not good.
It's not. It's the writing, the dialogue is good though. This is what
Dialogue
the
is
problem is.
good. Yeah.
The dialogue is very good. This is what makes me think. And Joe Kelly knows how to make a fucking plot with Deadpool, and he's worked with with Wolverine in the X-Men comics. The problem that I really think is here is that Marvel editorial came in and said, "No, you got 3 issues, not 6." And they chopped it up and got paid and said, "Well, this is going to suck, but we got to put it out. We already got paid." So, this is unfortunate.
Yeah.
This reeks of editorial, and that's what scares me about Joe Kelly's run on Deadpool, or not
Yeah.
Deadpool, sorry, Spider-Man. If editorial did this to this story that didn't need to exist, it was literally just them wasting money at this point. It didn't need to exist. It didn't need to get written at all. So if they're doing this to him now, sacrificing what could have been a really interesting 6-issue miniseries that would have made for a great $19 trade paperback, what are they going to do to him with Spider-Man? Like, really? Don't trust the fucking editors, bro. This is like Spider-Man 2, the movie Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
There's a good movie in there.
Yeah.
The editing fucking ruined that movie. It ended like 3 or 4 times, dude. That there was a good movie in there for Andrew Garfield and Jamie Foxx as Electro, and
You're
the
going.
editing
You're being
fucked it
too
up.
nice.
Editing fucked that movie up. And the
Yeah.
edit this is editing, because the art is good, the dialogue is good,
The
but the
pacing
plot,
is
the
good.
pacing's fucked.
Yeah.
Well, the pacing is fucked, and it's too jumpy. The story beats
Yeah.
are fucked and too jumpy.
Yeah.
It's too
I
abrupt, and
feel like they had an
you
idea
feel like
of
you missed
what.
something.
Yeah, I feel like they had a good idea of what the pacing was gonna be, but the
Mm-hmm.
story beats can't fix it. Honestly,
Mm-mm.
because
Mm-mm.
that's just how I feel. Like guys, for the most part with this, and that's the problem when it comes to duo titles like this. If someone likes the other character more, they just get more to do. It's just what it is,
Yeah.
you know.
I think
So
there was more for Deadpool to have done in there because Joe Kelly liked Deadpool. He wrote him. He created what he is today. I really believe that the editors told him this needs to be Wolverine forward, and you get 3 issues, not 6. Because who the fuck? When's the last time you saw a 3-issue miniseries?
and they usually do 4. It's always standard 4.
At least 4
They did
or
4 for Ms.
6.
Marvel recently,
Yeah,
but no one read that.
3
So.
is so fucking weird. That's what I'm saying. They chopped the comic book out of here. This should have been issue 1 and 2. Just
Oh,
that
and
story beats would have worked, and you would have got
yeah,
everything you needed to understand out of it.
and I feel like just certain parts had the right idea of what they were going to be, but it just jumps in many different directions, And yeah, man. Anything else you want to say before we head out of this review? Actually,
no, it's I mean, if you want an art book, it's good. Personally, wait for the trade if you want to read this. I'm gonna read issue 2 here this week. We'll see how it goes. Don't know. I'll find out. Maybe some things get explained. We may come back when we do the next review and be like, oh shit. Okay. But we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, as you guys know, this is a 3-issue series before Deadpool and Wolverine, the newest Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, comes out. I mean, you guys know, like, I don't give ratings for stuff anymore because people will just normally skip to the end of the video to hear the rating. If you like Adam Kubert's art, and if you like good bloody action, this is for you. But if you wanted something a little bit more written better, this is not it. Just saying. If I was just rating this off art alone, this might be in the top 10 best books of the year. But that's not how we do things here. And that's just not how you would rate stories like these. The story is, there's a good story in here somewhere. I'm just hoping issue number 2 gives me that. Because I like this idea, but it's just, if this was trying to grab people, it's just not there. And this is the reason why people just wait for trades. This is not something I would have been. I just imagine if I was dropping like 2 racks on comic books a week, and I got this in there, and I was reading this, and I was like actively pumping out reviews, I would have took this off my pull list instantly. The only reason why we didn't do that is because this is only 3 issues, right? If this was a thing that went to like issue 5, this is off, and like if that issue 2 isn't good, I would have already just been like, nope, trade, instant, nope, this is not worth it. It's just not worth, honestly, So yes. If you guys want to check out Professor Savage Dad's Twitter account, YouTube channel, follow the links in the description box below. And if you are a returning viewer or new viewer, subscribe to the channel. If you have not already, leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below. Also, make sure to hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. I'm MSK, aka Master Swag King, and I'm signing out, guys. See you guys later. Peace.